Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Sabeen and today I'm going to tell you a story. A story about a little girl who always wanted a best friend. Growing up, this girl never stayed in one school for more than a year. Every time she started to settle in, her family had to pack all their stuff and move to another place. And you know what happened? Every time she went to a new place, she felt like an outsider, an intruder. Everyone around her had friends that they'd known since they were kids. They had people who they'd grown up with. And she was excited every time she went somewhere new. Because she thought to herself that perhaps this time she'd also find people that she could grow up with. But every time she settled in, she had to start the entire process all over again. A lot of people in their life go through several heartbreaks. Growing up, this girl's first heartbreak was the realization that even in a room full of people, she felt lonely. A classroom full of friends, a house full of family, she felt like she didn't fit in. For some people, she was too loud, for others, she was too passionate, and for others, she was just a little bit too much, too fiery. Her head was lit up, no one understood her. So, when one fine day this little girl heard the words mortally when, she bounced onto that opportunity. She walked in with confidence, no training, no experience. She debated against people older than her, taller than her, more experienced than her. But she had one thing that none of them did: desire. Even though they were lucky enough to have the best coaches in the country, desire beats luck every single time. That girl walked out of the conference with an award. It wasn't first base, but it was a spot on the podium. And after that, she took every opportunity that came her way. She went to every single conference, tried out every single debating style, and over time, with each award, with every single conference, she made a name for herself. That little girl who was scared of fading away, who felt like she didn't belong, who wanted people to remember her name, had finally done something. People knew her name. Perhaps her name was taken in a bubble, in the very tiny world of the everyone knew. But it was a word nonetheless, and her name was taken nonetheless. She felt like she was on top of that world. And then this girl grew up a little bit more. She went to university. She was surrounded by people from all over Pakistan who'd done so much more than her. She felt her name fading away. She saw herself walking towards the back of the line. She saw herself being nothing but another face in a nameless crowd. She didn't want that. So, last October, she showed up to the trials of the International UN. Again, she didn't have any prior experience with an international UN. She just walked in with passion and desire and hope. She got on the team. After that, it was months and months of training and creating tactics, because what people don't realize is that everyone is a sport, and you can only win if you're the best of the best. And that's what she did. She became the best. She walked into Harvard, and Pakistan was a failing economy and a landmine of socio-political issues. People came up to her and asked her, "Are you guys even going to have elections? Are you guys even a democracy?" She walked out of Harvard, and Pakistan was a world champion. She managed to spot her beauty, didn't hit her when she came back, and her parents greeted her at the airport with tears in their eyes. My father is actually sitting in the audience there right now. But it also didn't hit her when news outlets from all over Pakistan were writing story after story about her win. We're calling her to give interviews in some of the biggest media institutions that you can think of. It didn't even hit her when she was invited to be the president. You know when it hit her? When a little girl came up to her He looked into her eyes and said, "You're Sabeen. Do you want it harder?" And I looked back at her and I smiled and I said, "Yeah, that's who I am. I'm Sabeen. I still don't have a best friend. I still feel lonely in a group of people, but I'm a real champion." And that's just what it is. Every single one of us has things that make us feel small. Every single one of us has experiences that have made us feel weak and vulnerable and scared. But that doesn't stop us. It can't stop us. We can't let it stop us from rewriting our stories in the way that we want to be. Yes, I'm that little girl who's scared of fading into the background. Yes, I'm that little girl who's still scared of people forgetting her name. But I'm that same girl who went to Harvard representing Pakistan, representing her team, and made sure that everyone in the country, everyone in the world knew who she was. Something that scared me, something that held me back, became something that fueled me to do something bigger than myself. And that is what I want you to talk to you guys today about. Not my own story, but how you guys have the ability, have the autonomy to decide for yourself what your story is going to look like. And to do that, I'm going to take the analogy of an M1 forward. But the way that M1 is described as a simulation of the United Nations is too small to describe what it actually is. It's a simulation of how the world actually works. And I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. But before we begin, I'm going to ask you guys on the count of three to shout out what you think you need to be, the kind of person you need to be a leader. Some of the qualities that guys may need to have to be a leader, to be a world champion. Okay? On the count of three, I want you guys to just shout. 1, 2, 3. I'm confident. Empathy. Fearlessness. Right? But take a look at yourselves. Think about all the experiences you've had in Pakistan, all of the competitions you've been to, all the models that you've done, the teachers that you've had, the administration that you've had, the parents that you have, the family that you have. Is that the way they inspire you? Do they use empathy? Do they use courage? Do they use love? Or do they use fear? Do they use dominance? Do they use power? Do they make their voices louder to make yours smaller? Because that is the way, that is the culture that currently exists in Pakistan. When you walk into an event and you want to come out with the best ever, what do you tell yourself? I'm going to be the loudest person, but everyone is going to listen to me. I'm going to be the most dominant person in the room. I'm going to lead everyone, everyone's going to follow me. That's not how you make people follow you. One of the first things that you learn when you're training for an international M1 is that for people to follow you, they need to love you. For you to be the best at what you do, for you to be the best delegator there is, for you to be a leader, you have to be someone who's respected and someone who's loved. And how do you become someone who's loved, right? In a room full of people. In a room full of people with kids of different ages, kids of different backgrounds, kids from different schools, kids from different countries. You simply become the best version of yourself. You're the most generous, the most kind, the most respectful person that you Another important thing that we learn when we start doing our everyone training is that we need a personal brand, right? You need something that you can sell to people around you. You need an idea that is completely yours, undeniably tied to your personality, your persona. I think that is a brilliant way of looking at life itself. Everyone around you has the ability to score the highest grades that they possibly can. Everyone around you has the ability to have the highest SAT score, to be able to go to the biggest and best universities in the entire world. But there's one thing that makes us unique, and that is our experiences, that is our lived reality, because no one can take that away from us. No one can get one step further from us because it's not your race, it's our life. So therefore, it's really important that we understand that we are more than just metrics that we quantify ourselves with. We're more than just the number of A stars that we have. We're more than just our SAT score. We're more than the number of university references that we have. We're people who think of the world in a certain way, who feel certain emotions, who want to succeed, who feel scared of failure. But when your desire to succeed is greater than your fear of failure, there's nothing in the world that can stop you from getting what you want. And the only way to get ahead of that fear is by believing in yourself. And the only way of truly being able to believe in yourself is by understanding who you are. It's by building a brand. So when you look into the mirror, there is more to what you can say about yourself than just simply your name, simply the institution and the family and the class and the gender that you belong to. There's a real person, there's a story in that mirror. And you should be able to recognize that story. And then you should be able to sell that story. When you come to the job market, there are going to be hundreds of people who do that, right? All of them